right? Turn right? No, there's never going to turn right. Turn right there? I'm not turning right there. I'm saying goodbye to Antelope Reservoir. It's been an interesting place to stay. Didn't end up being by myself because a Winnebago showed up just as it was getting dark. Yeah, they were pretty quiet. And then in the morning, the guy came over and he gave me some yogurt and granola bars. He said, we're going home and we don't need this stuff. And then he gave me some water. So I'm full of water, which was one of my main things I had to do today, was to find some water. It's 8:30, not as early as I wanted to get on the road, but I kind of been dawdling. I'll tell you about the route as I get going. You know, people often ask questions on Facebook about security and safety. Oh, look at Bob White's little quails. But, you know, I think there should be a thread about kindness. People help each other and are kind without even being asked. You know, that guy just came over and he had this stuff in his hands. He had a yogurt and these 2 granola bars, and he said, do you have enough food? That was kind. That was really nice. I can't count the number of times, almost every day, either somebody does something kind for me or I get the opportunity to do something kind for somebody else. And the number of times that something bad has happened or somebody has done something malevolent, I can't even think of when that's ever happened. In all my years on the road, I haven't had things stolen from me. I haven't been robbed. I mean, knock on wood, it can happen, right? I know that it can happen. I had some mouse chewing on my boot once. That's the only thing I've had with a wild animal. I wouldn't be doing this if I felt like it was, you know, a high risk. I'd like to say you see the best in people, but I think you just see how people really are. That as a species, we tend to help each other. So I set the Garmin for Ely, Nevada. Now I'm not going exactly to Ely. I'm not going to Ely. I'm going to a campground near there, possibly. If I get hot and tired, then I might look for somewhere else to stay in between, since I'm well short of where I was going to be yesterday. 20 degrees, this is just perfect. I know it'll be a lot hotter later. Some people wouldn't call this scenic, but I think it's beautiful. Look at this straight road. No wonder Kalimoto didn't want me to come this way. I'm glad I didn't ride this yesterday. This would have been pretty unpleasant at that high temperature when I'm tired. I think the lesson for long distance is less distance. Maybe it's age, maybe it's common sense, I don't know, but you know, I've got a 600 kilometer day today and I don't know if I'm going to make that. And I used to think 700-800 kilometers was a reasonable day. Now I think 5 is a pretty big day. The first motorcycle of the day, Lone Rider. I'm in Nevada now. This is what today is going to look like. That's okay. I think it's beautiful in its own way. There's not much difference between doing this and doing the interstate, I guess. I don't know, I'll find out when I get to Winnemucca. And then I take the interstate for, I don't know, 60 or 70 kilometers. Winnemucca. Well, let's try to the right. I'm kind of looking for a grocery store. Lots of motels. Family market. Okay, that'll do. Okay, so when people ask about security, most of the time I don't worry about it. But it feels a little bit more sketchy here, so I'm going to take this bag with me because that's got my important stuff in it and it doesn't lock, and that's why I brought this device. Got some food for dinner and lunch and for a couple of days now. Okay, so yeah, so back through Winnemucca. Have to get on the freeway for a bit, and then I will be on another probably less traveled road, and then I'm going to be on what is called the Loneliest Highway, Highway 50. It's east-west in Nevada. 80 east. Oh, this was actually on the Pony Express. That's one of the things about this. We're going along the Pony Express trail. So I'm going to take 305, which I think is Battle Creek. So let's get there. Yeah, 87 miles to jump to 50. So, and 50 is the loneliest highway. Anyways, I'm going to envision that there's a place to pull off and have some lunch and get a little shade with a creek. This feels like a more reasonable pace. They'll give it 20 miles or so, and if I don't find something, then I'll get less picky. Another solo motorcyclist? No. Group of 3. Oh, that's worth it. I'm gonna go down there. 4. That's 4 miles, but it'd be worth it. Okay, what do we got here? Creek Recreation Area. Well, that's what I was looking for. Hey. Well, I just want to stop for lunch. I'm just going to stop for a few minutes.
Well, I just stopped for a couple minutes myself.
Okay.
So here's a table and wood, and I'm getting ready to take off. So.
Okay, sure. Had a nice lunch here. I got my stream. I did not get shade. If I kind of crept into the bushes there, I could get some shade. I actually stood right over there to enjoy a little bit of relief from the direct sun. It's semi-overcast, so it's not quite all direct. But now I'm going to head down to find the loneliest highway. You can see the, you know, even this little bit of gravelly bits is much more challenging for this bike than the Africa Twin. You know, I have to admit that my little excursions off the pavement have been a bit challenging at times, but I haven't dropped the bike. And I've been able to do everything I needed to do. So that worked out all right. Okay, stop for a drink of water. I noticed that my phone was not charging because of the heat. So that's one of the problems of having a phone on the handlebars. So first it stops charging, and then later on it'll just shut down. So if you're navigating with your phone, it can be a real problem. The GPS doesn't do that. It'll just keep going and going. Like traveling in the heat is something that requires some special concerns. And I don't know if I have the expertise. I've done a couple of trips. I've suffered from heat stroke before. So I have some experience with the bad effects, but not really managing them. I know lots of people wear a hydration pack, and so they'll have water that they can constantly sip from. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. That's probably something that I would do. I don't have a hydration pack. I used to have one that I used for hiking, but it kind of wore out. So I have to stop and drink water pretty regularly. I try to make sure I stop at least once an hour. And when you're riding in the breeze like this, it's 32 degrees. I've ridden in hotter. You're riding in the breeze like this and it's quite warm, you're sweating and you don't even feel it because the sweat just evaporates. So you don't notice how fast you're getting dry. Close to an hour before I get to the Loneliest highway. So that'll make it 3:30. I don't know where I'm going to stop tonight. I doubt if I'll make it to Eli. Oh yeah, I can feel some rain coming. I'm not quite sure how seriously I should take the threat of rain. This has to compare to the hill out of Bella Coola. Oh, can you see the road way off in the distance? I wonder if that's my road. Looks like it. I think that's one of the reasons why they call it the Loneliest Road. Look at that. There's some dark clouds on the horizon over there. I don't know if I'm going that way or if it's going to curve the other way. Looks like I'm bypassing the rain, but it's hard to tell. This is a very straight road. Okay, I looked up a campsite on Gaia. I'm being guided by Gaia right now, and I don't know what the road's going to be like. It looks like it's a named road, county road something. So even though Gaia can take you on tracks that are not suitable for bikes, I think this one will be okay. White Pine County Road 5. So I'm hoping, but it says unnamed campsite, so I have no idea what this is going to be. And it's a bit off the highway, so it's a little bit of a gamble. It's short of where I want it to be, and if it doesn't work out, it will add some time to my trip. Anyway, so I'm getting tired. I'd love to find a place to camp now. It's 4:30. I think I'm in Pacific time. And look at this, I'm in the middle of the Loneliest highway, so there's not much here. It's just flat through this scrubland. The adventure continues. It's only 29 degrees, so I have enough water for the night. It's all good. Roberts Creek Road ahead. Driving for 4 days and I'm only 10k from home. What? Biker. Okay, this is Eureka. That was the Eureka suburbs. The Lincoln Highway, the L. The friendliest town on the loneliest road in America. These tiny towns and these giant fire departments. That's what surprises me. Turn right, turn right. No, there's never going to turn right. Turn right there. I'm not turning right there. Nah, none of that, that's not working for me. That's not a road that I would take on this bike. Cancel that and pull over and see what my options are. I might have to go all the way to Eli, which is another hour, and it's 5:30 now. It's getting close to dusk. Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Let's keep going down the road and see what we find. I think this one is going to fall into the times I drove too far, but it's just like no place to stop. No place to stop. I should look at one of those apps, over iOverlander. Say, what do they say? Pancake Summit. Things seem pretty hopeless, so I decide to try using my Garmin to search for a campsite while I'm riding. Surprisingly, it shows me one that's not too much further ahead, so I select it and see what's going to happen. Okay, not too bad. I was worried. I didn't know how far off the road it was and how bad the road was going to be to get there. So far so good. This is a little bit, a typical gravel road. I can, not any worse than the one I was on before. Now we'll just have to see what this reservoir campground looks like. Not super developed and not empty, but hopefully there's a spot. Okay. Garbage can, site, toilet way up there, but I see. I like the windscreen. Oh, that's bumpy. Okay, that'll do. That'll do.